Hey guys, Joshua in the woods. We're back at it. I thought we'd have a chat today about the first really nice knife that my lady got me. And it's still with me and it's still my favorite. That is the Adventure Sworn Classic in 01 tool steel. Yeah, let's have a chat, shall we? So I got the Adventure Sworn Classic about 2017. So 9-10 years ago. And I just wanted to do just a short little appreciation for that little era, because for me there was a website which is still there, Bushcraft USA, and man, I frequented that a lot. It was a great little era. It was the time where, well, this was after, so scratch that. But it was a time where I really wanted to start to really get into the nature around me, because I was tired of my area, and so I kind of, had prior just made this decision that I need to get connected to this place. Outside of the suburban sprawl. And so the kind of introduction of bushcraft and the primitive skills thing was just, it was just perfect. It was a perfect avenue to get into stuff. And so, you frequent that for very long, you're gonna find knives by Adventure Sworn. And man, I just thought they were just so beautiful. And they are. They still make knives, and they're beautiful knives. And so I think it was either around Christmas or my birthday or something like that, where, I told her I had to get a nice knife, to do my to do my bushcraft skills, And she and her mom got together and decided that that's what they would get me for my gift. And so I went online, and it's limited availability, so there was one that was just but I had not, I hadn't spent that kind of money on a knife. I had been into folders, folding knives for a long time, and I had a couple, nice folders, but not a fixed blade knife. I hadn't had a nice fixed blade knife. So I chose it. She got it, and yeah. And the clouds broke and the angels sang, because boy, oh boy, is this knife beautiful. Now I need to do a little bit of perhaps buffing, and I think on the Adventure Sworn website, if you don't want to do that yourself, you can send your knife in and they'll do a little spa treatment on your knife, which that might be fun to do. But other than that, get it on the buffing wheel and all that. So so that knife, it was really the knife that kind of got me into the skills stuff. And honestly, like, it's really cool that was around the time that I got my job as a woodshop teacher, as a woodworking teacher. Now our classes are probably not like your typical woodshop that you may remember as a kid, with the bandsaws and a lot of power tools and stuff, building little things. I made a bread box, still have it. The door still slides open. I made a magazine rack. Remember magazines? So I still have those things. But our class is carving based. We don't build, but we carve. We build the heart. So, so my job, 2017, I guess, was right around that time. Yeah, that I got my job as a wood carving teacher, and so it's just this kind of era. Did you guys ever watch MCQ Bushcraft? He was on YouTube. He's, I think, on YouTube, but not doing the bushcraft thing anymore. I think he's building Jeeps or something. But boy, if you can go back and look at all the old MCQ bushcraft videos, he really caught the spirit of the kind of bushcraft craze, you know. And he started out with a big old SE6 that he was using, SE6 knife, and eventually kind of upgraded to smaller knives. So that was interesting to watch. But yeah, so I'm feeling bad because I didn't go and look at the owner's name of Adventure Sworn, but I know, you know, there's a dude, Cody, I know used to work there, doesn't anymore. Gosh, if the owner ends up watching this, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'll put it in the description. How about that? Anyways, go check out their knives. They're just amazing. So I'm gonna do a little top down. I want to come up. I think there might be a bench or a table coming up on the trail, but if not, we'll do a little sit down and I'll try to give you guys a little bit of a closer look at this. Very simple, but you can execute so much with this simple but awesomely beautiful blade. All right, catch you in a sec. Okay, so I managed to find a spot that had one bar of connection. So I went to the Adventure Sworn website to find out that the owner's name is Cody. His name is Cody, and his wife's name is Amber, and his father's name is Ed. And all three of them make up Adventure Sworn. And get this, this is so cool. Amber and Cody have known each other since second grade. They were together in high school, moved in together in high school, and are still together and married and running Adventure Sworn. I find that amazing. Like, God bless them. That is such a great example. I pray that Christ showers his blessings on them, because what a shining example. I love that. And they're crafts people, you know, they're great. So yeah, the guy that I was thinking, I don't remember his name, who used to be at the company, but I know that he makes exceptional leather patches, and I have one on my pack right there. It was always back in the day on Bushcraft USA, this thing to try to get his patches, and boy, were they hard to get. But I got this one off of Etsy. So, all right, let's look at this knife, eh? Okay, so here we have it. This sheath. The sheath is made by Amber, so she makes all the sheaths. Beautiful, excellent work. You can get this one with the burnished edges, or you can get a simpler version. I think they still do that without the burnished sides, if you want to kind of save a little bit of money. But I went for the full combo. Beautiful. I mean, it's, you know, it's been 9 years. It's it's not looking too bad. And here she is. This is the classic. This is stabilized bird's eye maple. So you can see it's kind of, I guess it's sort of like impregnated with like some sort of epoxy. So it's tough as nails. It's yeah, it's just so strong and beautiful at the same time. So this has red canvas micarta liners, which have kind of darkened up over time, more of a burgundy maroon. And if you can catch that, right here it says 01 USA. And on the back, there's a stamp, Adventure Sworn. Hopefully that's coming in. Yeah, and this is just, I mean, you can see the kind of Coke bottle shape. I've had a number of fixed blades, and this shape by far has been the most comfortable. I mean, it's exceptional. It's when all proportions just line up perfectly. You know, the height, the length of the handle. Just, you know, I have I would say medium large hands. So maybe for a big pod gentleman, it might be small, but I don't know. I'm not sure, but for me, it's absolutely perfect. Scandi grind. It's got a 90-degree sharpened spine. Sometimes you get sharpened spines that are so sharp that it kind of hurts. This is not that. It's sharp enough to use on a fire steel, but it's not so sharp that it's like gonna cut your hand. I've I've had a knife where it's just so damn sharp you don't even want to touch it. So this is just done so perfectly, and yeah, the Scandi grind is amazing. I myself, I do keep a very small micro bevel on the edge. You know, for those Scandi purists, they wouldn't like that, but I do. I just keep it on there. It really saves me from, you know, every time sharpening, having to take off all that metal on the Scandi and just going back and forth. I just don't want to do that. So I just keep a little micro bevel, and I touch it up with a little ceramic stone here and there, you know, if I need, but mostly I just strop. I strop a lot. I strop all my knives a ton. So, and that seems to work fine, but you can see, like, you know, if I really buff this out, all these brass pins would really shine. I've got a little bit of patina happening back here, you know. I do keep my knives oiled, but if I forget, I really pay for it because I live next to the beach. I live across the street from the ocean, and it destroys all things steel. So I have to keep everything, you know, nice and oiled, my axes and just everything. I walked into, I went to my axe rack not too long ago and looked at my axes, and there was rust on them. Like, forgot to oil. It just chews stuff up, that ocean weather. But yeah, this is it. Hopefully you guys are getting a picture of it that's clear. It's just a beautiful knife. Yeah, this is one that's a forever knife for sure. I've not once even thought about selling this ever. So yeah, my hope is actually to one day get one of their larger knives. I know they have some knives that are slightly larger, and I would love to get one of their convex edges. They do a convex here and there. I don't know if it's like a saber grind, but it's a convexed edge. And yeah, because the Scandi grind is so excellent for, you know, woodworking, carving, feather sticks, you know, making a fire, really. The Scandi grind is not so exceptional for cutting food and food prep. So for a true camp knife, you know, this works, but for food prep, I would love to get one of their other knives. Yeah, if I'm doing wood carving personally, I have specific carving knives that I bring. So if I'm going to carve a spoon, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use a smaller carving knife. But the thing is in a pinch, you know, you could carve a whole lot of stuff with this knife. It's a big knife, but you can get away with carving a whole ton of stuff. And what I really love about this knife is that it doesn't have a very big belly. You know, it's nice and thin from, you know, the base of the knife here to the tip. Big bellied knives are I'm not a big fan of. just because I'm not a hunter, I don't do skinning, and so my primary focus is woodwork. So I want that as pointy and thin as I can get it, and I love the way it's shaped. Just enough there, but yeah, if you're, say making a spoon, this point here is just really exceptional for getting in between the bowl and the handle. You could really do it. I would carve with a smaller knife, but if you needed to, this is just exceptional. So yeah, the sheath is wonderful. It's very well built. If I actually inside, you can hear it. There's a little small plastic sheath down there, so you don't cut your sheath. So it keeps it all nice from from getting cut. There's a nice drain hole. I would love to see a sheath that is like maybe a little thinner, maybe not have the double stitch, but maybe even a single stitch that just really hugs that line. That's the only thing that I would probably want to do, is just get something a little bit more narrow. But as is, I mean, it's not as important to me, as I haven't gotten a separate sheath, so obviously I'm good with it. But if I really wanted to find something, then that's not much, but I would just say a little skinnier sheath. But as is, it's a tank. So yeah. So there it is, you guys, Adventure Sworn. Check out their site. It is, if you haven't spent a bunch of money on a knife before, it's a hefty purchase, but really, this is, it's going on 10 years old, and it really, if I buff this out, it could be brand new. So this will be around for a lot longer than myself. So this will go to my kids, and they'll do whatever they want with it. So look at that, just beautiful. Everything about this thing is just exceptional. Got the Adventure Sworn logo on the back, pressed in there. Yeah. So hopefully you've gotten something from this. It was a joy to make this video. I've been hiking for like 2 hours. I took a turn, thought I was going somewhere, and they changed the trail, so I walked off course for about 30 minutes, but that's fine. All good. All right, you guys, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.